Figured it was the time to do a walk around. We're getting into mid-June here. My plants have been all around and in the ground and in pots and transferred. These are all the volunteer loofah. They just are popping up out of the ground wherever seeds had fallen. So I don't even know which type these are, but I'm just gonna let them go, see what happens here. And this guy here too. So this fence through here, there, all the way around to there, was completely covered in loofahs last year. And this one over here in the corner is the same spot I've been using since I stuck a bucket that had one in there originally, and it just took root. And then this is about the third year of just using that same spot. That seems to do pretty good. I like the healthy color of the leaves there. I think pretty sure these are my F1 grandparents or parents to the Virginia Huskies. And I've got other ones here that are different plants that are got to still be moved. So we'll take care of those shortly. I got sunflowers that just went crazy here. And I got lima beans all over the place. Started out with my granddaughter's first lima bean plant she had. And this rose bush here and some other spots here, what I did is I just sprinkled a whole bunch of chia seeds around, and it makes a nice little bed for it. I kind of like it. Yeah, another loofah there. So let's go take a walk in the back and look at those real quick. Oh, and another one here that came up. I've got a hummingbird vine that got planted here, which I bought, and then I realized that they're just everywhere in Virginia, growing up signposts and everything. So I'm gonna have to trim this guy back because it'll take over. I had some other clematis, 2 different clematis here, and they didn't really last. And then I got a hyacinth vine, bean vine there that I'm growing on that side, and I got one growing on this side. So I'm hoping I can harvest some hyacinth beans out of those because I owe somebody seeds for those. Yeah, but the hummingbird vine, it's got no problem. It'll take off and grow really good. I gotta do some full-on trimming for this. We'll go take a look in the back. So I've got this whole bamboo trellis hut or whatever it is that I built, and on the base of that is all the loofah and some other cucumbers and different things. I've got watermelon planted here, and this is actually started out as about a 3-foot hole that I just keep putting all this used straw from the chicken coop in there and building it up, tilling it, building it up. So I've used it over a few times. I had watermelon in here and I had cantaloupe in here last year. So it's got watermelon right now, and I'm gonna probably move a couple other plants. My milkweed over here, encouraging the monarchs to come around, but I never see any. So we'll see if we get any this year. And my butterfly bush. I've got a kind of a compost branch, whatever type pile here where I dump everything from guinea pig cage remains to branches, everything. And then this, I'm pretty sure is a pumpkin. It came off a batch of seeds that were laid there. I'm surprised it's the only thing because there's a lot of other seeds there. You can see some of the bamboo I harvested waiting to be used for something else. And then my pear trees are going nuts. I got all kinds of pears on them, but I probably won't see any because of squirrels. And then on this side of the hut, I got some squash that I put in the ground. And over here, and I had a baby squash on, I think this one, but I don't see it anymore. Something probably ate it. We've got rabbits that hang out here all the time. And over here I put in a cabbage that I had in a pot, more squash, think this is a dino melon plant I stuck here, and the darn chickens tore it all out of the ground. More squash, more dino melon. And then this is, oh, my peach tree going crazy, lots of peaches. And more butterfly bush and coneflower and mountain mint. This has become my kind of my native plant region here. I don't really put much in there. This area here, the mint took over everything, so I actually kind of fight back some of the mint to get enough room to plant something in. And then we go on this side of this little hut thing, and I got cucumber. Oh, this one's running out of the cage. Cucumber. And then we get into the loofah. And it's been in there. These loofah here that were in these tire sections. I've tried everything from tomatoes to whatever in here, and got all good soil and everything, pumped it, took care of it. And it's great looking soil, but boy, things just have a heck of a time really growing here. Anyway, these loofah, I had loofah in here last year too. My Virginia Huskies were in here. And then these are in here now too, which I gotta go on the other side. I labeled them over there. So they're doing pretty good. They're starting to take off now that they're getting a lot of heat. And I just have my drip system going at, I think, 9 in the morning and 4 or 5 at night, just because it gets so hot. And I don't want to just water them with a bunch of hot water out of the pipes. And again, that's my asparagus, and we've been eating out of those when they come up. Then let's go over here. I just want to look real quick. Okay, so I got a white loofah here. They're struggling. F1 loofah here. Another F1. F1 are the apple loofah, first generation basically. And then I got a King Kong loofah, which is totally unrelated to anything I've grown before, but we'll see how it works out. Another King Kong loofah. And then, yeah, these are all cukes. So let's go take a look at this section. I put everything in here, but then the chickens immediately follow me around. Any place I dig up the ground, and they just want to get in there and dig up everything too. So I started planting the loofah in here, and I just stretched this across, which has worked out pretty good. I guess rabbits have squeezed in there a few times, but they don't eat them. So we got the F3 Virginia Husky, which is the F1 apple loofah. Ended up producing the F2, and the F2 Virginia Husky produced the seeds for the F3. So what these are going to actually grow, I don't know. I'm waiting to see what the F3s come out to look like. They're bigger, smaller, what, I don't know. Because apple loofahs are the size of a softball maybe. Virginia Huskies were the size of like a football, and round and fat, not that long. So F3, and I'm constantly every day having to come kind of steer them to get them to go where I want. And then this is the F1 apple. So these are all apples here. And I got a miscellaneous batches of gooseberry and I forget what the other ones are called, moonberry or something, I don't know. And those going through here. And I still have some more stuff to plant along here, but I just basically kind of using this area to keep things going until I get to them. And then we got this is a persimmon tree. I had 2 of them planted and one didn't make it. And these are a type of raspberry, but they turned out to be, they're really small raspberries, and they're very thorny, and they send shoots out all over the place underneath the ground. So they just want to spread and spread. I'm not too sure I like this one at all. I may end up digging it all out. Back down under here, is my raspberry, which used to be only over here. And then this other type, I bought this type of blackberry, but I didn't know it was going to be like that. So my raspberries are kind of overshadowed. This is where I grew peanuts and then potato, and I still have yet to put something in here. And this is regular blackberry. And this one originally was really, really, really big, went all the way over to there, but I kind of trimmed it back. Then we get back over here to this section. This is I believe a peach tree. They struggled since I moved here. They're finally starting to grow. So we got squash here, and F2. This is the F2. So the F1 apple luffa made the F2, which is my Virginia Husky, the original. And see, I gotta steer them. They're wanting to go everywhere. F2, 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 F2. I forgot the label, but I think it's F2. Yeah, F2. Yeah, so all these are probably F2s through here, and we'll see how they work out. On the other side of here, I got this apple tree, which is, last year it did really good. I had to cut a bunch of branches back because it's taking over too much space, but I just have a hard time getting any fruit out of things because either insects attack them or the squirrels attack them. And my elderberry, and that'll come out full on. And some more butterfly bush I planted here. And we go back to this one section here, and I tilled up either side of the fence where I had some tubing run from last year. I had loofahs down through here and they didn't do all that great. So now I got squash and dino melon throughout here, back and forth, and I fenced it all off because the darn rabbits and everything want to come in there, and chickens dig up everything. So we'll see how they do. This section here tends to be shadier because of this giant pecan tree. And then I got a bunch of trees that I got from the Arbor Society, I guess. And I can't even think of what they all are. There's some crepe myrtle. There's I don't know, it's a red elm or something. And some flowering plants and a bunch of things. I forget the names of them. That's a pawpaw, I'm pretty sure. And then my gardenia, which I really like because it just takes me back to growing up in Hawaii, that smell. And that's basically the rundown. So we're at a point now where I think in June, if you just give it consistent water and we get enough sunshine and temperatures are up high, we're going to have 70, 80s pretty much consistently now, then it'll all take off. So in another month or so, I'm hoping it'll all grow up and reach up. And eventually I was hoping those loofah would go up and over on that trellis, but we'll see how that works out. And that's the rundown.